What up? What up? What up? This is Mike the Philosopher here with another one, y'all. This one is make a move. All right. Now, without further ado, let's just go in. All right. First off, Cameron shows up. All right. And it was expected. I expected Cameron to show up. For him not to be there would have been a little too, I don't know. I just expected him to show up. So when he showed up, I was not surprised. And it was a good look for him to come with a gift. If you're gonna be late, you at least better have something in your hand, bruh. Okay. And he did do that. He had a gift, says something yellow. I guess yellow is her thing or whatever. So he had some gifts that was yellow and smoothed it out a little bit. So, all in all, it was good for him to show up. It was good for him to bring a gift. It was just good to see him. All right. He said that Zadia supports his ambition. And, for the most part, she do. But he said how long is she going to be able to do that? Because he noticed that she supports it for now, right? So he has an idea that she might not be able to continue to support him, and for good reason. I mean, the guy is he. If I'm being honest, I would have thought that Cameron would have thought that he would have got eliminated by now. He wouldn't have mind doing a cameo on the TV show. You know what I mean? Got his name out there, got his image out there, got all of that out there. He could say he been on there, but I don't think he planned on being on there for this long. I really don't. He was like, man, she keep picking me. I guess I continue to come back and continue to come back, but I really don't have time for a full-time position, but she keeps, picking me. So what am I supposed to do? I got to pretend like I'm into this. At least that's how that's how it looks to me that he's doing. So next up, Mizell, he starts to push up on Vernisha. Okay, can I get you a drink? Can I do this? What else you need? What else you need? And Vernisha, she's here for it. And I see Type his name, Tabari, and I see he's looking real tight. He kind of looking at Mizell. He's looking at Mizell kind of push up on Vernisha, and he's like, "Oh, okay, what's going on here?" He played cool. He don't say nothing, but you can kind of see Mizell pushing up on Vernisha, and all is fair, man. All is fair in love and war. All right. And so Mizell takes that opportunity to try and holler at Vernisha. I guess he's seen the equipment. I guess he's seen the type of woman Vernisha is, and he was like, man, I didn't get to see her. She a lot nicer than the one they set me up with, Matchmaker, I don't know how well a job Tamika is doing, but you can't win them all. You can't be right about all the matchups, right? But I think Mizell would have much rather been paired up with Vernisha than, Charisse. But then who you gonna pair Charisse with? So, I don't know. I just noticed that he was pushing up on Vernisha, and I did notice that your boy Tabari was noticing that. So next up, Vernisha tells Charisse about Mizell. Now, look, she tells her about Mizell, and Charisse plays it off. She plays it off like it doesn't matter. She plays it off like, it had to sink in for her first because when she told her, she kind of played it off like, oh, well, well, that's good for you. Good for you. He's texting you. He hasn't texted me yet this whole time. So, I guess he's showing what he wants or whatever. But the more it lingers and the more it marinates and everything like that, you start to see Charisse get a little more tight about the whole situation. And look, rightfully so, right? You don't want look, I look at it like this. Men have egos, but I think women have even bigger egos. And I know a lot of women are going to disagree with that, but I think women have even bigger egos than men. And no woman wants to feel like a woman can take her man. She don't like that feeling at all. And Vernisha smooth took, she gave him the number and everything, and she practically took her man if she wanted to, and that was her keeper. So rightfully so, Charisse was feeling the way about it, and you know, but what can you say? All is fair in love and war. I mean, if Vernisha is interested in Mizell, let them try to see if they can build something, because if he's not into Charisse, then he's just not into Charisse like that. You know? I would ask y'all, do y'all think that she was wrong for giving her number out? Even though, like, look, I know there's girl code and guy code. So where it's like, okay, if that's the person you're interested in, then that's off limits. But in this scenario where they're on a TV show, it's pretty much an open market to date and see whoever they want to see, because um you know they're trying to find their person, right? And I believe somebody did that before too. Somebody took somebody else's guy, or something similar to that. Or I think Stormy was trying to take Ashley's guy, Kristen, and it's just look, man, these women are ruthless. These women are ruthless. All right. And apparently, hey, your man chose me. So I was going to ask y'all, do y'all think, though, that Vernisha was wrong for giving her number to Mizell? You know what I mean? I think it's pretty clear that Vernisha and Charisse are not friends. Like, they're not like girlfriend. They're not even on the same season as Ready to Love. They're not girlfriends like that. You know what I mean? So how much loyalty she owes Charisse? I mean, Charisse came in the house. She was started telling all the women off or whatever. You know what I mean? So she ain't exactly been a role model, somebody to look up to, or somebody even be loyal to. You know what I mean? So I would say I don't necessarily feel too bad, with it happening to Charisse, because it's the energy that she gives off. It's the energy that she gives off. But would y'all consider that girl code? Did she break a girl code, or is she there to find her man? But no matter what the other chicks are up to, look like, or act, or how they move. And to be fair, Charisse didn't really put much blame on Vernisha for doing that either. Just to be clear, she didn't necessarily seem to have an issue with Vernicia. So, but did Vernicia break girl code? I want y'all to tell me that. Put it in the comments. All right. Um, and I wouldn't, I don't know. I just think that it was a little, Vernicia seemed a little surprised too that he stopped texting and calling Charisse. She seemed a little surprised by that, which was kind of, I guess that wasn't, well, I guess it was a little surprising. Like, why did he just stop texting and calling Charisse altogether and continue to bombard Vernicia with text after text after text? I mean, it was very clear who Mizell was really interested in, which is kind of confusing because the brother was all hugged up on Charisse in the chair and, had his arm around her, gave her the little forehead kiss and all this other stuff. So he was really fronting. He was really fronting. That's the part that I wouldn't blame Charisse for being upset with. What you start hugging and kissing on me and kissed on my forehead, and I invite you to the party, and now you pushing up on my girl. You know what I mean? So it showed a little bit more of Mizell's character, if you will. Next up, Ashley. She seemed to be loving the drama of this whole Mizell thing, because she looking at them like, oh man, are they gonna tear each other apart? And one thing it seemed like to me is that Ashley is very scared of Charisse. I think Charisse put a level of fear in some of these ladies to make her not. Well, I think the only one that's not necessarily scared of Charisse is Vernicia, but I think both Zadia and Ashley have a healthy fear of Charisse. So she was looking at this like, I wonder how this is going to end, because one thing you don't do is mess with Charisse. You don't do that. That's what Ashley said. One thing you don't do is mess with Charisse, because she's this, she's that. It's like, she all bark. As far as I was concerned, she's all bark. And one thing I noticed about Charisse is that when she gets upset, she takes a drink. Whatever is around her and it's drinkable, she's going to drink it. Okay? When old boy put his hand around her and she didn't like it, she took a drink. When this situation with Vernicia happened, she don't like it, she takes a drink. She always takes a drink when she's irritated, agitated, or got some anxiety, or just plain upset, So that's a tell. So anything she do going forward, if you see her take a drink, that's a tell that she is pretty pissed. I just found that to be a little interesting. Next up, Charisse is really tight about this whole situation, and you can really tell in her looks. Now, she played it off. She tried to play nice girl and try to play it cool because she don't want to look insecure. She don't want to look like another woman is better than her. But inside, it is eating her up. That's why when Tamika talked to her, it was like, oh, I gotta turn to Charisse. What do you think about this? Oh, well, I gotta think about this. I got to think about this. And the more she started thinking about this, the more you could see it being more and more of a problem. And again, I get it. She's a human being. She has an ego just like everybody else. And this has to shatter her ego because this is the guy that she kept. This is her keeper. This is the guy who she clearly likes. So it could look like she just don't know how to pick men. She picked the wrong men. Good. It looks like that, and nobody likes to feel like their partner, their mate, or the person that they pick can be taken away from them. But here's the thing that Sharice needs to understand. Nobody likes a bad girl. They just don't. Men don't like bad women. Sharice is not ugly. She's not ugly. But she has to feel like from Ready to Love to this show, she hasn't been able to maintain a relationship. She has to feel like she's doing something wrong. I would hope that she feels like, if she feels like she's doing something wrong, that shows that she has some intelligence actually. But if she don't feel like she is doing nothing wrong and it's all the men's fault, this woman is going to be alone with a cat and she's going to die alone, like Kevin Samuel said. I'm just saying. She is, because her expectations is out the off, just ridiculous. Her expectations are ridiculous. Her temperaments, the things that she expects out of a man. Now, some women might say, no, well, whatever she wants, it's out there. It's out there. Listen, I'm not sure how old she is, but she ain't young. Okay? Sharice is not young. So she's running out of time. She clearly running out of time. It's around this time you would think a woman like her will say, hey, maybe I need to change up something. Maybe I need to look in the mirror. Maybe I need to change some of my ways. What I'm doing ain't working. What I'm doing is not working. So I need to rearrange things and move a different type of way. I wonder if she regrets letting Maurice go. Okay, that was her dude. That lawyer dude, the player, the Billy D dude. I mean, he was too cool for school, but she gonna eliminate him because he got too comfortable. How you feeling about that choice now, Sharice? You let the brother go because he was confident in y'all relationship? He was comfortable in y'all bond? So you let him go? And now the guy you chose is pushing up on your girl instead of you? And you ain't got no keepers now? How that decision, and this is a good example of what happens in real life with real women, with real men, everything. You end up thinking you're too good for another guy. Oh, he too comfortable. He this, that, and the third. You get rid of him. And then you're out here having guys, I don't want to say cheating because he ain't cheating on her, but In the real world, it will be cheating. Your next guy is cheating on you. And then you start regretting leaving the guy that you left. And I don't doubt for a second that Sharice regrets letting the lawyer guy go. Now, I'll put it this way. If this was real life, she would be calling Maurice back. She would be calling him. Or she would, I take that back because she got too much pride, man. She got too much pride. So, but I'll put it this way. She wouldn't call him back. She wouldn't text him. She wouldn't do none of that. But one thing she will do is regret letting him go. Now, if he came back, if Maurice came back to her and, talked to her, put some sugar in her ear, told her what she wanted to hear, she would accept him back with no problem. Matter of fact, a lot of men can probably do that. I know I could do that to a lot of my exes. If I came back, like, look, let's try again. Let's do this, that, and the third. I know a lot of them would be like, okay, yeah. And to be fair, some of them won't. They'd be like, no, I'm good. And I'll be like, good, I didn't want you anyway. Anyway, yeah, so Sharice, I think she probably around this time, she probably regretting letting Maurice go, but this is a humbling experience for Sharice right now, having her keeper push up on her girl. And you can see she tight in the face over this, okay? I mean, it's just men just don't like mean girls. And I think that Mizell started to see the mean girl in Sharice. I think that was a turnoff. I think he's physically probably attracted to her, but her personality is, he's seen how she treated the other guy. And he was like, I mean, he ain't no competition for me. So he swooped in and did this, that, and the third. But he know in the back of his mind, it's only a matter of time she give him that attitude. So he was like, let me switch camps. Let me try to switch women while I can at this mixer, because I don't want to end up with her if that is her real personality. It's only a matter of time before she give it to me. So, and Vernisha is looking nice, and that cleavage is looking nice. So, I'm gonna have to see if I can talk to her, because she seems just to be more pleasant overall. So, I'm not saying that I'm not in Mizell head, but if I was Mizell, that's what I would be thinking, to be honest. So, next up, the men come over, and guess who shows up? Christian. This brother, he didn't show up to the part. So he really was the only person who did not show up to Zadia's party, and he was invited. And I can't help but to think that the brother was absent on purpose, if I'm being honest. I think that he wanted to listen. Let me be honest with women, okay? Let me be honest with y'all. And excuse me, brothers, but I'm gonna give out a little code here, a little cheat code for the ladies. And some women probably already know this. It's probably not a cheat code, all right? Men suck at breaking up with women. Okay. So sometimes men will do stuff to annoy you so that you can end things with them. This is why more women probably break up with men more than men do with women. Uh, you could probably call it a little, I wouldn't necessarily call it cowardice of men, because men are always trying to protect women's feelings. It ain't that we scared of no altercation from a woman. It's that we don't necessarily have bad intent on, um, hurting your feelings. Okay, hurting your feelings is way more um, harder for us to deal with than any physical thing could ever be with man to woman. Okay, we don't, especially if we like you, we don't want to hurt your feelings, so we will do egregious stuff to annoy you so you can call it off. So if she calls it off, she'll feel better about the situation. All right, she'll call it off. I won't have to worry about it, and she'll know why it ended, and she'll feel better about the situation. I'll give it to her so that she can have pride at the end of this. That's what I think is going on with Kirsten and Ashley. I think the guy didn't show up on purpose to give to piss Ashley off so that she can eliminate him. At least that's what I think. Y'all let me know if that makes sense to y'all. If y'all think I'm off on that, whatever the case. But I think he did that on purpose. And why do men do that? It's just easier. It's just easier than dealing with um all of the emotional drain of and psychological damage of us breaking up with you. So if Christian would have said, "Look, Ashley, I, you're really not my type. You know, I go for women way finer than you. I used to be in the NFL, so I get top notch chicks, but you're still a cute girl and everything. We can laugh and we can have fun and things like that. And even be friends, but you're not really my type." You think Kirsten can say that to Ashley and it not be a whole thing? That would, if he said that to her, you'd have an extra episode just to deal with that. You would have an extra episode. And it would be strictly Kirsten and Ashley and this, that, and emotional drain, and he ain't ish, and who is he? And I don't care about that. I don't care about this. I'm a good woman. She did a little bit of that in this episode too. She was still emotionally. I mean, just imagine him saying that. He didn't even say it. He gave her the power to break up with him. And she still was emotional, but she do this "I'm choosing me" stuff, this, that, and the third. But if he would have did that way, it would have just been more emotional draining, and men don't want to have to deal with that. So you ask me, he didn't come to the party on purpose. He did it to piss her off so that she could break up with him. And that's why when she said, I'm going in another direction," he was like, "Okay, drunk as water. You made your choice. All right. My job is done." Plan worked as usual. It was a good plan and it worked. You broke up with me. Oh, I'm so heartbroken. And then she got mad. Oh, you ain't even gonna fight for it. You ain't even gonna fight for it. What do you want me to do? You sound like you made up your mind. That's what he said. You sound like you made up your mind. What you want me to do? And why did Ashley want him to fight for it? If the guy didn't, I mean, how many clues you got? How many clues you need, sweetheart? How many clues you need? He didn't show up. He didn't fight for you. How many clues you need? You know, and this is why I said, man, I'm very protective of Ashley. I said that's in the last episode. I'm protective of her because I know she's gonna end up getting her heart broken with this guy. And if it would have continued on, it would have gotten worse. I'm glad it got cut off now. So this is going to sound weird, but I don't necessarily look at Kirsten as a bad guy. And the reason why I don't look at him as a bad guy is because, yeah, I mean, he did play a little emotional games with her, but I think he knew it was getting too serious and he had to sabotage the relationship before it started to get too serious, because he know he's blocking her from finding her right guy. He know he is blocking her because he knows he ain't the dude for her. So if he ain't the guy, he don't want to be in the way. Go find your dude. Let me do something egregious like not show up so that you can eliminate me and choose the guy for you. That's why I don't necessarily think he's a bad guy, because I think that was part of his plan and it worked. And sure enough, she gets emotional and stuff and starts crying and I gotta choose me and all this other stuff. I'm a good girl. I laugh. I good joke. I have a good time. My heart is pure, and it is, But Kirsten was not gonna act right with you. He wasn't. Even if y'all got in a relationship, he wasn't gonna act right with you. He would probably cheat on you. He would probably show other women more attention. He will probably not have you on the pedestal that you deserve to be on. So he sabotaged. But keep this in mind. He sabotaged for the good of you. He did you a favor. Keep that in mind, Ashley. He did you a favor. Now, she might not look at it that way, but he did. He did you a favor. He let you go so you can find your God. It just is what it is. Next up, Charisse confronts Mizell. And, she plays it off, being coy at first and all this other stuff. And I have a question to Mizell. My question is, bruh, don't you know by age 55, which is what you are, don't you know women talk? Don't you know women talk? How in the world did you think this wasn't going to come out at some point? How? Did you think it wasn't? Did you think Vernicia was going to keep a secret for you? And she lived with 3 other women? Did you think this was going to be a secret between y'all two? And if you knew that women talk at age 55, and you know they're gonna mention you at some point, why wasn't you better prepared for some of these questions? As a man, I gotta question your swag at this point. How in the world did you not see that coming on? How did you not know there were? How were you so unprepared? It boggles my mind. Now, listen, and this is just from a male perspective. All right, this is my male perspective that I'm coming from. I know the women got a whole nother perspective on Mizell, but as a man, I'm like, bruh, do you not know women talk, man? They living under the same roof, bruh. Did you actually think this was not going to come out? And then you're going to go to the mixer and pretend nothing happened? Sharice wants you to pour her a drink. Oh yeah, I'll pour you a drink. Look, then you start looking like you're using her to stay in the house so you can stay close to Vernicia. Just not a good look, bruh. At 55, I would expect your finesse. I would expect your finesse style to be better than this, more polished than this. It's just it boggles my mind. All right. And Sharice asks, where do we go from here? She asked him, where do we go from here, Mizell? And you had no answer to that. You had no answer to that. How could you not have an answer to that? Listen, I know that this is not an easy situation for you to be in. But number one, you put yourself in this situation. And number two, you had no backup plan on how to finesse this situation. I would even say not even necessarily finesse. Just be honest. Let me tell you what I would have done in this situation. I would have said, yeah, I'm interested in both of you ladies. I find both of you very intriguing, very attractive. And I wanted to get to know her to see how we matched. I already know you and I have a connection. I wanted to see how me and Vernicia have a connection and if there is something there, because I'm interested in her too. That's what I would have did. Look, men are going to have preferences, but when you come to this situation, you shouldn't show no preference. You should not show a preference. It's almost like how if y'all been watching the show, y'all know Jabari, right? Well, Jabari was connected to Vernicia and who else was he connected to? Zadia for a short minute. He was connected to both Vernicia and Zadia. He still entertained Zadia, but he kept it to himself that his main interest was in Vernicia. Okay, but at least he entertained Zadia. Now, with Mizell, I can understand that. Some might say, well, that's what he was doing, was he showed Vernisha more attention, but he was entertaining Sharice. He should have just been honest. One thing I learned way before 55. I ain't no 55. But way one thing I learned with women is that they respect honesty, man. They respect honesty. Now, I will admit that sometimes being honest can get you in some hot water. It just is what it is. I have a story to tell about my own personal life. And I was just honest with someone and it ended up biting me in the ass. Okay. But I have a policy of always being honest. Like, this is what it is. And the person I was talking to, they couldn't handle it. They didn't, and I'm thinking to myself, at my age, don't I know how women are going to respond? And, I put it like this, man. If it's meant to be for us, it's meant to be for us. If it's not, it's just not. Look, I'm not going to dial back my honesty and my integrity just because I'm afraid of how a woman is going to take it. You're just going to have to look, if we don't work out, it ain't going to be the end of the world for me. It ain't going to be the end of the world for you either. So I ain't got a lie to kick it. That's just how I am. I ain't got a lie to kick it. I'm going to just tell you the raw, uncut. Now, I do believe timing is very important, but honesty is too. And with Mizell dealing with this situation, timing may be a luxury that he don't have. So he has to like shoot a shot with Vernisha while he can, because he probably ain't gonna have much time around her. So I wasn't mad at him for shooting the shot, but it's like he still should have kept it a buck. He still should have been honest with both the ladies. Look, I like both of y'all. I'm intrigued, and I'm interested in both of y'all. I just want to see who I match with the most, and I'll be evaluating that. But I would like to see both of y'all. If I can't see both of y'all, if you asking me to choose, then you're gonna have to give me some time on that, so that I can decide who I want to be with. And if you don't want to choose me, then okay, you probably making my decision even easier at this point. It just is what it is. So that's how I would have handled it. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think of that, of how Mike the Philosopher would have handled it. But I move with honesty. I'll let the women decide if they want to deal with it or not. Okay. This is me. This is how I am. Do you want to deal with that or not? And I'm gonna tell you, me as a person, I'm very specific. I'm unique. I'm a unicorn. I'm one of a kind. You're not gonna find a whole lot like me. I know a lot of people say that, but there's just some unique things about me that I'll be honest with. This is how it is. I see the world this way. And I give you the choice whether or not that's something you can accept or not. So that's just how I move. But she asked him, where do we go from here? And he really started to lie. He started to lie. He said something like he had a bag that was lost, and that's why he gave his number to Vernicia. And nobody is buying this. Even Tamika is not buying this. Like, you're talking about a bag that you lost. That's why you gave Vernicia your number. Now you're lying, dog. Now your whole credibility is gone. Now none of the women in the house respect you now. Why would you even say that? Why would you even make up that like at 55, man? That's the best you could do. I lost respect for you. I lost respect for you at that point. I was like, man, what is going on with this brother? You can't come up with a better story than that? That's ridiculous. You can't come up with a better story than that. But anyway, he started lying, talking about he lost the bag, and that's why he gave his number. And Tamika's not buying it. He should have just said he was interested in both women and kept it pushing. That's how I look at it. Or just be honest, or just say, I'm just into Vernicia. I'm just into Vernicia, and that's it. That's the person I want to know. That's the person I want to get to know more. And no harsh feelings or anything like that. I just feel a little more connected to her. She told me that she didn't have no man, so I felt the need to get to know her more, and that's who I would like to continue to get to know. So he really messed that up. Lost some cool points from me too, but it is what it is. Next up, Zadie and Cameron, they talk. And one thing I notice about Zadia when Cameron is around is this woman is unrecognizable. For real. She is not, she is so on her best behavior around Cameron. Y'all notice that? Every time Cameron come around, this woman is on her, like, it's, imagine like you're a kid in school and your mother is the teacher. Like, you're gonna be on your best behavior because you don't want to get embarrassed. You're gonna be on your best behavior. Zadia is on her, like, she's not annoying. She's not sarcastic. She's not rolling her eyes. She's not doing all these other things. She is a church girl when she's around Cameron all the time. So much so, I don't even think Cameron's seen the real Zadia. Why do I say that? Because he finds her pleasant. He likes her. Obviously, he don't know the real Zadia. So she faking the funk for this guy. I never see her get loud. I never see her get obnoxious. I never see her name call or be sarcastic or dismissive or disrespectful. I don't see none of that. It's to the point where I'm starting to think that she's falling in love with this guy. I really do. Another reason why I think they're already smashed. I really do. It's just something I noticed. But they talk about the time and if Zadia can keep up with him, and who knows if this is going to last. I don't think this is going to last. But I think if anybody's going to pull out of this situation, I think it's probably going to be him. He probably going to like, I ain't got enough time for this relationship. But it's just so interesting to me how she is so, you know, she is so cooperative with Cameron. She really respects this guy. Cameron can basically do no wrong. He was late showing up, and she all she did was talk about how much she is feeling this guy and liking this guy. And it's like maybe a guy like Cameron is who she needs so she can get some act right. But I'm like, what is your motives? What is your motives? You want to be married to a doctor or something? Or what is your motives with Cameron? Why are you so why are you being so fake with him? You know, I don't know. I'm starting to see a lot of fakeness. I'm just keeping it real. Next up, Ashley, she takes Kirsten, she eliminates Kirsten. Uh, she wanted, like I said, she wanted him to fight. He didn't feel a need to fight. He was just like, it is what it is. My plan worked, and there you have it. It is what it is. And you know, it makes her take another look at your boy Don. You know, Don showed up, and everybody seemed to be happy about Don showing up except for Ashley, which I found weird. Like, why is everybody happy to see Don but you, Ashley? I'll put it this way. Ashley, in my opinion, she just does not know how to pick men. She don't. I told y'all last episode, Don is her dude. I'm gonna tell you this episode, Don is her dude. That's your man. Why don't you see it? Why do everybody seem to see it but you, Ashley? I mean, I'm not saying she don't see it altogether. She see it a little bit, but it almost has to be thrown in her face. Okay? Tamika had to make calls to get Don there. Don dropped everything to go to her. And this is why she's crying over Christian. And then when he pops up, she like, oh, who is this? What he doing here? This, that, and the third. That's your dude. That's the one you should be focusing on. I think that Ashley really has a inflated, how should I say? She has an inflated maybe view of herself, or is she just horrible at picking men? And there is a lot of women like this. They pick the wrong guys, and then they cry boo-hoo, why I'm too good to be single. Meanwhile, you got great guys in front of you, and you crap on, you think you're too good for them or something. And that's what this situation is with Ashley and Don. That's your dude. He admires you. He thinks you're beautiful. He can't wait to spend time with you. He's been texting you like you wanted him to do. He's been texting you all day, all the time. I mean, I give you half credit. You starting to see the light, but it's almost like Don got to work 3 times as hard as Christian did. And women do this all the time. There's lessons to be learned in this. Sometimes you're stuck on a guy who ain't stuck on you. And then you crying, wondering, oh, I'm worthy. I'm a good woman. I laugh, I joke, and my heart is pure. Yeah, whatever. What good is a pure heart if the heart is superficial? You only looking for guys who 6'6" and got all the sixes. Your heart is pure. And Ashley is my girl. So it's like I like her. So I don't like to go too hard in the paint on her, but why somebody got to shake you for you to see the obvious? Don is your guy. What, you think you too good for him? Y'all on the same level. You ain't too good for him. You want a guy who admires you and looks up to you and finds you beautiful. Ain't that what you're looking for? Look, I know everybody got a level of attractiveness that they all chasing, and men want the most beautiful woman and women want the most handsome man. I get it. I get it. I get it. But some of y'all need to be more realistic, man, with who you should be with. A lot of people just don't have a good self-image of themselves, or not necessarily good image, an accurate self-image of themselves. A lot of people don't have an accurate self-image of themselves, and it's mainly the women that don't have a good an accurate self-image of themselves. I always say women believe the makeup and the weave them instead of the natural them. This is why men, their self-image is based on all of these enhancements. So when they look in the mirror with all of these enhancements, they think, oh, I'm beautiful. No, that's not the real you. You got to take some of that. You got to take some of that off. Then what do you look like with all these snuffleupagus eyelashes and all this makeup and stuff? And then what do you look like in the morning? What do you look like? I'm just saying. You know, Ashley talking about I just choose me. Yeah, well, ain't nothing wrong with choosing yourself, but you need to be more realistic you need a more accurate self-image of yourself. And I don't know why you making it so hard for Don. I really don't. Because that's what you're doing. You're making it 3 times as hard than you are with Christian. But you did the right thing at the end of the day. You let Christian go. You're with Don now, and that's good. Next up, Vernisha, she keeps Tabari, and she lets the other guy go, Contrail or something like that. She keeps Tabari, and this brother is like a lap dog, just all in her bosom, like a kid. And I looked at this brother all giddy about being able to stay, and I'm like, Vernisha gonna control this dude. She gonna control him. She got this brother wrapped around her finger already. Vernisha, I'm saying, man, she got, I don't know, she got so many dudes at her. She got this Tabari guy, this Kentrell guy, not to mention Mizell, and probably a couple of other. She had Jabari. She had all these guys wrapped around her finger. I mean, look, I get it. She's a pretty dope woman One thing I don't want to see is this start to go to Vernicia's head. It don't seem to be so far, but I can only imagine her getting all of this attention. It's going to start going to her head after a while. It's just human nature. Um, but the way she had this brother all in her bosom, all happy he get to stay, I don't even think he's the right guy for her. I still don't think he's the right guy for her. Like she's like they just don't seem like a good match to me at all. And I wouldn't be surprised because it looked like at the end, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought back Mizell, even though he was eliminated. It looked like the guy that came back, because somebody's going to come back next episode. It looked like it was Mizell. I hate to burst your bubble. I could be wrong too. It could be somebody else. But I think they're going to try to bring back Mizell for another shot at Bernicia. We'll see. But and Zadia, Ashley and Vernicia, they go on a date. Okay, they go on a date with a couple guys. Didn't seem to have any motion there. Vernicia kind of shut them all down because one of the guys was only 31 years old. And she was like, oh, no, he too young for me. I can't deal with no dude that young. She probably got kids close to his age. I don't know. I don't know how old Vernicia is. I don't think she's that much older. But she was kind of turned off by that. She didn't seem very attracted to the other guy with all the tattoos. So she was like, peace out. Ashley didn't seem to have any motion with any of those guys either. Then Zadia and Charisse, they go on a date and they meet up with their two guys. And Zadia, she is stuck on Cameron so much. I mean, I swear, I think this woman is in love with Cameron. And, it is what it is. And I don't know. I seen a little chemistry between one of the guys and Charisse. But I think Charisse is trying to make the best out of all her situations now that she ain't got no keepers and she ain't got no guys she can really rely on. She let go of all her guys, so she got to start from scratch. So I think she's just drafting whoever is nice to her at this point, and it is what it is. And last but not least, Ashley, she finds out that Don was married. And it is a big whoop to do. And she makes it very dramatic. Is that a deal breaker, ladies? Put it in the comments. Is that a deal breaker because he was married? I heard her say under her breath that she was like, man, somebody done beat me to it. So I guess she wanted to be the first wife. She wants to be the first wife of a man. I don't know if it sounds like that's what her real beef is with him being married, because she can't be the first. Maybe she wants to be married to a guy and be his first wife because it'll be her first husband. I don't know, but it seemed like that was part of her problem. If I had to dissect it by just what I've seen so far, that's what I would say. Can I talk to the ladies? Ladies, y'all so y'all are so hard to please, man. It's almost as if a man can't have a past. A man can't have he can't have anything. He can't have anything. The only thing a man can have is things that will benefit you. That's so unfair. A man can't have a past. I'm sure you got a past. It is y'all don't realize how hard it is to please a woman. You don't realize that. For men, it's it's damn near impossible to please a woman. I'm just keeping it real. I don't know how y'all can get better at that, but it's so many boxes that men got to check off for women. It is Superman would get dismissed, okay? A woman would complain, "You gone all the time, Superman." Well, I'm fighting the world. I'm trying to save the world. What are you talking about? Well, that ain't in my schedule. Okay, forget the world. What about me? That's how women are. It's like, it's like, are you serious? It's like no good a man can do. I swear. Jesus would get turned down. Oh, why are you blessing everybody, Jesus? You're supposed to be just blessing me. What? No, those blessings are just for me. I'm here to save the world. I'm God's son. Well, what about me? That's just how women are, man. Look, maybe I'm just a little too frustrated, to be honest, because sometimes as a guy, and I'm just speaking on my experience, sometimes as a guy, I feel like it's no wonder a lot of guys just be like, you know what? I don't got time for this, man. Trying to please a woman all the time. That's hard work. That's a full-time job. I don't got time for that. And and to be honest, I feel like some women create drama just to keep the excitement going. I really do. Some of y'all just create drama just to keep the excitement in the relationship, and that can be emotionally draining for a man. Why are you creating problems? Don't you like peace and quiet? Is that too close to boredom? You know, comfort and happiness? That's too close to boredom for you? You got to create problems? Ah, that's it for this one, y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I really would appreciate it. Hit the like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.